All right, so for the grade recovery packet, we have pages 15, 16, and 17 that all have to do with the same poem. We have, there's my dog in the background. We have the poem Darkness in the Desert. We should remember this one from class. So it says, for desert animals, the day is not a time for work or play. There's little shade, the world is dry, the clouds are absent from the sky. Things sizzle in the searing heat, the burning sands hurt creatures' feet, and so when it turns light they creep beneath the ground to fall asleep. But late in the day the sky grows dim, the sun drops past the canyon rim, the stars peek through, and very soon the night replaces afternoon. Inside their dens the creatures stir, they like the cooler temperature. By ones and twos, by fives and tens, the animals creep from their dens. On mountain, prairie, plain, and hill, the night is when the world is still. In deserts, though the times reverse, the dark is good, the light is worse. The daytime is the time to rest, for desert creatures night is best. The desert fox, the mouse, the hare, at night they scamper here and there. Their claws scratch softly in the sand, their faint calls echo through the land. From dusk till dawn, all through the night, they feed and play till morning light. Okay, and just, this is a page out of the iReady workbook. They have the little helpful hints there, and they tell you to look for the speaker's reflections on the topic. So the topic would be, a lot of people look at the title, which is Darkness in the Desert, and say it's about being darkness in the desert, but it's about animals. And really, it's about a certain kind of animal. And I remember in class, a lot of you got this correct. You knew that it was nocturnal animals, animals that come out at night. And so you look at what is the poet, in this case, Morena Summers. So what is the poet saying about nocturnal animals? And you can go back and look through the poem. Then they have that chart that we did in class together. They have it on page 16. And so it says, what is the topic of the poem? Nocturnal animals. Or, what else could you write? You could say, remember I told you if you don't know the term nocturnal, then you would say animals that come out at night. It's a phrase, and nocturnal is just the proper way of saying that, but it's okay if you don't know that term. When I was in 5th grade, I would not have known that term. What are the details about the topic? Okay, so the details would be things like, I go back to the poem. I know this one a little bit better because we did this one in class again, but you go back to the poem and you're looking, okay, so what are some details about the topic? The night is better. I'm going to paraphrase here. I think in class we did text-based evidence, but we're going to paraphrase. The night is better for these animals. The sun the sun's heat hurts the animals. So these are like the facts that were given the reader from the poem. And then it says, I've done the first 2 columns. There are 4 columns. I go to the 3rd column. The 3rd column asks me to look at what are the speaker's reflections on the topic. Excuse me. The reflections on the topic would be that you ask yourself if you're like, okay, well, what am I doing? And they have, remember that iReady, they have the little helpful hints. Think about what the speaker is thinking about with the day and the night and the animals. The nighttime is the best time. You would normally think that daytime would be the best time, but in this poem, nighttime is the best time. So what are their reflections on the topic? Nighttime is better for these creatures. Now, what is the theme of the poem? So if I forgot about how to find theme, I go all the way back to pages 13 and 14. Go back to page 13. And when they had the little cartoon, and you look and it tells you, okay, think about what are the speaker's reflections and see if you can take that to make a theme. And this is a hard thing for fifth graders to do on their own. This would be much better if you had multiple choice, because what I would teach you to do is, even if you're not sure, look at the options and see which option is the best option to choose. Sometimes I disagree with the options, but you can figure out what is it that the person who put together the test is looking for. It's a little more difficult with these columns that we're expected to fill in with our own words. And I know I went off on this in class, but so this is like a more gentle version of that. And it's a difficult thing. I think most adults will struggle with it. And that's why I put away the teacher's manual. I try to do this with you because it is a struggle even for an adult to come up with the right words. So what is the theme of the poem? Well, we're saying that the reflections is that the nighttime is better for these creatures. So the theme of the poem might be, I think one of you guys said when we did this in class, the goodness of night. The goodness of the night. Sometimes I think one class, a few of you said nighttime is better. That would work. Because it is. The poem is about how wonderful nighttime is. I think a student had that the theme was about being playful at night. And that you could make a case for it. It's a little more difficult when you have to have your own words there. But any of those are going to work for this. Okay? So we've read the poem, which is on page 15, and we've completed the chart, which is on page 16. Now they will have page 17, which is the short response. And it says, what is the theme of the poem, Darkness in the Desert? Use examples from the poem in your chart to support your response. So what you're going to do is you have your chart, and you're going to start with the theme and work your way over. And it even has a hint. It has that helpful hint. Remember, I always told you to look for those hints. It says, start your response by stating the theme in one sentence. That's going to be our topic sentence for this paragraph. So indent. Put your little thumb there and indent. Okay, what is the theme of the poem? I'm going to say, and remember I told you always introduce the article or the title. So I'm going to say the poem, just put one parenthesis, darkness in the desert. The poem Darkness in the Desert has a theme that goodness, no, let's see. The poem Darkness in the Desert has a theme that the night is good. See, goodness of the night didn't work with my sentence structure, so I switched it around. That the night is good, period. So I've stated what my theme is. Okay, well, what do I need to do? That's my topic sentence. I need to have my evidence, right? So I'm working my way over. So we said that the speaker's reflections, that nighttime is better for these creatures. So what is the poem? What is their topic? It's about creatures that come out at night. So I might say, the poem describes animals who sleep in the day and who come out at night. Period. The poem describes animals who sleep in the day and who come out at night. Period. So I'm looking at the details. The poet, that's our author, the poet reflects on the ways the sun can harm these animals. And to support that, what am I going to do? Text-based evidence. Do I have this poem memorized? Of course not. So I go back to the text. So let's see. The burning sands hurt creatures' feet. Okay, so I have the poet. The poet reflects on the ways the sun can harm these animals, comma, quote. Remember, I'm putting in direct, so I have to have a direct quote. I can't paraphrase here. The burning sands hurt creatures' feet. And I don't have a lot of room. Normally I would explain it, but I'm going to contrast it with something that's positive about night and then explain it. So let's see. How about the last two lines? On the other hand, comma, the poet writes, W-R-I-T-E-S, and I'll put a picture of this, writes, quote, from dusk till dawn, comma, all through the night, they feed and play till morning light. They feed and play till morning light. I only got one line left, so put my end quote. I'm going to explain it and end it in one sentence. So remember, my topic sentence was the theme, that night is good. This shows the poet's belief that the night is good compared to the day, period. And I'm not gonna lie, this is not our best writing, but I feel like our poetry writing is never the best in this unit. But I have my topic sentence, which has my thesis. I have evidence, I have paraphrase, and I have text-based evidence, and then I ended it. And I have a nice short response. And I'll put a picture of that up for you. Okay, so that's pages 15, 16, and 17. Hope you guys are doing well. Bye.